Welcome to Monday edition of Quarantine with Styles, aka Driving with Styles. Happy 4th of July hangover day. Hope everybody had a excellent 4th of July, had some good times with the family, etc. I had a good time, had some good food, etc. And I didn't even have to cook. Even a better day. Lot to get into today. It was a interesting day. I have a lot on my mind. I'm gonna try to stick to what I have set to say, but I might ramble to get on something else. My intentions was to get on. Justin Rollins gave me a couple good things to talk about. I owe him a lot because last week he gave me something to talk about, and today he's giving me double to talk about. So I owe him a little portion of the proceeds, which is zero. So you divide zero by anything, you get zero. So I guess I can't get him anything. But he gave me two topics to talk about, and I was going to lead with that. They were UK topics. But I got to lead with this because this hit later today. And when I first heard it, the 10-year deal part of it, I was apprehensive, especially coming off of The Last Dance. And we all know about that Scottie Pippen's extended contract with the Bulls and how it affected him and the Bulls at the end of his contract. So I was a little worried about the 10-year. Then the figures started coming out. 10-year, ESPN, I think, had it at 400+ million online. And then I saw someone else, can't remember if it was Bleacher Report, they had it at 450. And then Lee Steinberg, which is, if you know the story of Lee Steinberg, read up on it. That guy was the epitome of agents back in the day. Then he had a little rough patch, and now he's back. And Lee just put the $500 million man in sports. And like I've said in my tweets, I said, people get too infatuated with this per year salary numbers, etc. Those numbers mean nothing. Because in essence, most quarterbacks don't get to the end of their contract. What matters to all players, especially in football, is the guaranteed portion of the contract. And I'm not sure if this is the real number, but if it's coming from his agent, I feel 99.9% comfortable that this is it. He has a $477 million guarantee mechanism. Now I read that there was also like a little $140 million guarantee for injury. So I guess that says if he gets injured and he can't play anymore, has whatever happens injury wise, he is still guaranteed $140 million, which I think is almost the most in league history. I think I can't remember if Goff Matt Ryan signed for $150 million guarantee. I can't remember. It's one of those. I should have researched that before I came on, but he's getting $140 million guaranteed for injury. Oh, now I understand why he signed the 10-year deal. It all makes sense now. And trust me, no one else will get this deal anytime soon. Trust me. Dak is up. Deshaun Watson is up. None of those, Lamar Jackson's going to be up for a while. None of those guys are going to set the bar for the future. No one's going to pay this much. This guy is easily the best quarterback in the league right now. Super Bowl champion, MVP, league MVP. Would have probably been back-to-back league MVP if not from the injury. Amazing. Amazing. I need to get my son back to quarterbacking and get him all this track and field stuff because, dude, $500 million? And most of that is guaranteed. He's going to see $300 to $400 million of it. Minimum. That's pretty nice. Really, really sweet deal for a quarterback, man. But, like I say, he earned it. And if you follow me for any time, he was my QB1, and I had him at a QB1 before. It wasn't before his senior year. If it wasn't before, it was definitely not that far after. And I might have to dig in the crate and find the proof. I know I stated that in September, that he was the best quarterback in the draft. I saw the kid play. He had a lot of moxie. And like I had that conversation with who had the best year, the best decade in the SEC quarterbacks out of, it wasn't in SEC, it was in NCAA. Out of Cam, Burrow, and Mariota, and how I put Burrow after Mariota and Cam is because the same reason why I saw at Texas Tech that Mahomes was going to be a beast. Because he didn't have a big-time receiver. Deion Grant is the only receiver that he had that's playing in the NFL. And Deion Grant is a special teams guy. He's a punt returner, not a receiver. That guy put that team on his back. And if that team had any sort of defense, they would have won a lot of games. Because he was putting up 30, 40 points a game, easily. He had a crazy game with him and Baker Mayfield. It was some battles. And he was held down by that defense, unfortunately, that's why great teams are great teams, because they have both sides of the ball. That's why UK, God willing, we get a season, has a chance at a great season because they have both defense and offense. Which leads me to the last position I talked about was the defense of backfield, which hurts me because today I had to not say the negative things, but not throw flowers at the feet of my secondary because our team is so deep. I'll get into that later, but let's talk about the quarterback room. As last week, I showed the clip of Terry running straight line, gives me confidence in that quarterback room. That guy's 12-3 as a starter. It's funny how some people, we talk about quarterbacks and we talk about their record and we're like, oh, well, he's a great quarterback because look how many games they won. Terry's 12-3 and people are still not giving him credit. It's a team game. Yes, our defense was great. But Terry put up them points against Florida. Terry came back after he had his injury issue in the middle of the season, and ended that season on a good note. Playing in an offense that was Benny Snell centric, which means you have to be efficient as a quarterback because you're not going to get that many chances to throw the ball. You can't get in a rhythm. The rhythm was created by Benny. Benny was the one who got in the rhythm. It was tough for the quarterback. That last year was his year to shine, and unfortunately, he got hurt. Unfortunately, because I had him coming for a big year. I had him potentially getting honorable mention All SEC, potentially second team, possibly. Which probably wouldn't have happened because of Joe Burrow's emergence onto the scene. Oh, man. But with Terry coming back, he's a proven leader. And the reason why I know he's a proven leader, I did a lot of research on him before he got to UK. But I was wondering why they went after him when we had Garner Hope and we signed Danny Clark. And then I figured it out. The guy is a stud. He was Oregon's he was Oregon's QB1 until Justin Herbert came and decided to go to Oregon. That's how good he was. And I saw his film in JUCO. I'm like, okay, this guy can play. And for us to go after him, like, okay, he must be really able to play. And when you come in from a JUCO and you already got Garner Hope, who's been in the program for a couple of years, which means the players should be comfortable with Garner Hope as a leader. And when Terry came in and became the leader real quickly upon his arrival, showed me a lot about more than just ability, because that's more to quarterback than just ability. It's having those guys willing to fight for you, willing to give you everything they got to block for you, willing everything they got to run a route, the right route for you, all that, the attention to detail, etc. And he got that quick, pretty much immediately. So that's when I knew he was the real deal. So that man went 10-3 his first year as a starter, first year in the program. That says a lot to me. And having him back makes that quarterback room even better. Now going to Sawyer. I feel really good about Sawyer this year. And here's the reason why. Just like Terry's first year, last couple years ago, Sawyer's first year was last year. And with Terry getting all of the reps as one, Coach Grant didn't have a really good barometer on the talents of Sawyer. And I think it threw him for a loop, having to play him so quickly, because you still had no idea what Sawyer did well, what plays Sawyer didn't like, what can you call that fits his skill set, because you can watch film from another college all you want, but until you get him in your program with your players and your system, you really don't know. And Sawyer played pretty well against Florida. We just got to reduce the turnovers. And I think that those turnovers, I cannot get this play out of my head. We still had the game in hand. And Lynn ran, I'm going to say a 9 route. I'm not sure if it was just a decoy route, whatever. Lynn ran a 9 route, and Sawyer threw it out there, but Lynn really didn't think he was going to throw it. And Florida intercepted, short field, they score. Sawyer won't do that again. Sawyer won't do that this year. He understands the scheme. He understands all the progression. That play seems like he didn't understand the progression. The reason why I say that, because now Lynn played quarterback, and he's had a pretty good grasp of the offense, which to me means Lynn had a pretty good grasp of what he was supposed to do on that play. And Sawyer still just winged it out there to him. With an additional offseason, the end of the year, bowl game practice, I think Sawyer is going to be that guy this year. He's going to be a dependable backup. And now we get to, I don't know, I'm going to say Bo Allen. That's what I'm going to say, because I'm not sure if Gatewood is going to get a chance to play. I don't like to put that out there since it hasn't been confirmed if he's going to be eligible. Like I said in the past, if you watched the show in the past, again, you can join the show. You can join the show by clicking on the link in my bio. Again, if you click that link, you're on this show live. You're going to be right next to me. You can tweet me or you can email me at drivingwithstyles@gmail.com. So I don't like to put the Gatewood in there because I'm not sure. Like I said in the past, I would rather him sit, get acclimated to the program, get acclimated to the scheme, to the system, and come back next year fully loaded. Which means I would rather redshirt Bo Allen, so then we'll get 2 years of Bo Allen after Gatewood, if Gatewood beats him out. Now, I'm just going to say Gatewood beats him out. And if Gatewood does that, then we have 2 years of Bo Allen, which makes this quarterback room outstanding. We got a year of Terry, then we have 2 years of Gatewood, then we have 2 years of Bo Allen, and we have whoever comes next. I trust this staff so much. It doesn't matter. We're going to get a quarterback. We are set at least right now for 5 years. This year, then 4 more. It's a great day to be a Wildcat. That quarterback room is deep. And the great thing about it is I trust Coach Grant, and he has proven it. Like I said last year, you look at the Cincinnati tape. He came and then he had Steven Johnson, and the offense flipped a little bit. Then he had Terry, and it changed a little bit more. Then he had Lynn, and it changed a little bit more. So usually I get on coaches for not, and I do this with LSU a lot, for not recruiting a quarterback for their scheme. But with Eddie Gran, you can recruit any quarterback. We got 2 dual threats and true dual threats in Terry Wilson and Joey Gatewood. Then we got more of a Tim Couch, Andre Woodson type, and Bo Allen. Doesn't matter, because Coach Grant is going to dial up the scheme to work for any one of them. That's why I feel so comfortable about this room. Even though you got a mix of players, you got dual threats, you got more pocket passers. Sawyer Smith is more of a pocket passer with Bo Allen. That doesn't mean they're not athletic enough to run the RPO. All I'm saying is they are more of pocket pass-ish for the modern day game. Because we don't have a pocket pass anymore. The game has changed. There are no more Jim Druckenmiller. I know I just said a name. A lot of y'all don't understand. He came out with me in my rookie class. Big, tall, 6'8", just statue. Those guys are gone. So Trevor Lawrence is your Druckenmiller now. Tall kid, but ultra athletic. So I feel really good about the quarterback room. Honestly, there is not a room that I don't feel comfortable with, which is probably the first time in my history of dealing with UK that I'm not fearful of any room. There's no real glaring weakness. Maybe special teams, maybe the kicker. But I still feel good in Chance Poore after last year. I think he has a bounce back year. So this is the year. This is the year. So now we're gonna go to. I'm gonna say this, since I was talking about the recruiting earlier. John Summerall does another bang job with getting Marquez Thrower. I watched film on his highlight film, and I don't like really basing things on highlight film because anybody can create a highlight film. I mean, it's your best plays. Come on, you can't create 2-3 minutes of highlight film. I think my high school highlight film was like 20 minutes, which is ridiculous. You can create 3 to 5 minutes of highlights. It's pretty simple. But the hits I saw, that guy, it doesn't matter. It shows me his willingness to thump people. And he has speed. I don't. They say he can play in the inside. They say he can play on the outside. There's nothing like having versatility. Just like when our boy Oates got hurt, versatility helps out. You can move guys around to fill in for an injury. This kid is a player, and he's not a 3-star. He's a 4-star to me. He's a thumper with some speed. How many of the inside linebackers you know can run and hit? He's a 4-star. So let's go to the things that Justin Rollins put on. He had a tweet about, what do you think are the 3 best position groups on this team? And my 3 was O-line, which is to me obvious. When you have the best center in conference, and that's from me. And Cole Public backed that up with saying Drake Jackson was the number 1 center in the conference. And then we have Landon Young and Darren Kennard at the tackles, which Cole Public rated as 2 and 3 in the SEC. And I feel good in Fortner and Horsey. If not, we got Flax. We have guys that can fill in for Logan. O-line is hands down the strength. And my number 2 was the D-line. And my number 2 is the D-line is number 2 for one reason. Quinton Bohanna. Period. I made a statement last week. I can't remember what the question from Justin. I said he is the most important player on that defense. The defense runs through the nose guard. Period. Nose guard is the man of a 3-4 defense. It's been that way since Dick LeBeau really brought it into the NFL. That's who I see as the architect of it. I'm sure I might be wrong. I might be somebody else, but Dick LeBeau was the one I remember as the architect. And you cannot run a 3-4 without having a great nose guard. Now, it depends on how you want to run it. There's some that I don't want to get into the details, but he runs this defense, and that's why the D-line is my number 2. Because, and add that to if Phil Hoskins coming back and moving Pascal down and having Ox, Rogers, Isaiah Hayes, it's like, dude, and that's Bully McCall, Looney. It hurts my heart. I'm beating on my heart. It hurts my heart to not have the secondary as 1 or 2. But those are the most important ones, because the secondary is a guy who played in the secondary and played. I played a high. I can say these things now since I'm almost 45. I played at a pretty high level. Can't play at a high level without a D-line though. Period. You could be the greatest corner in the world. You got to guard somebody for 8 seconds. You are average. Period. That's just how it is. You need a D-line or a great play caller to survive on the island. I don't care if you run a zone or man. Doesn't matter. You give a quarterback 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw, someone's going to get open. You cannot be a great secondary without a great front. Just period. And so number 3 was the secondary, because we are ultra deep. Deeper than deep. It's going to be scary. I mean, we started off this year with Jamari Brown and Cedric Dort as our starting corner. And those 2 guys probably not going to start this year. Which leads me to the next question. Justin had tweeted another one. Corners or safeties? Which is better? And this hurts me to say this again. I got safeties as deeper and better. To me, our corners are good. But our corners need to make plays. And I'm going to show you something later about Asante Samuels that, now I was not on his level athletically, but the way he played is similar to how I play. But he's a much better athlete than I am, and with better hands. I had average hands. So, like I said, I was going through there, and to me, the corners, you are too deep, for sure. I'm comfortable with the too deep. You got Eccles, you got Kevin Joseph, you have Dort, and you have Brown. Then after that, you have Andrew Phillips, you have Devonshire, and I think you have Jalen Gager. That'll be my deep. Now those last three, I'm not sure. Although I feel really good about Devonshire. He was playing well before injury. I feel really good about Andrew Phillips. I feel good about Andrew Phillips and Devonshire. But on the safety side, it's no feeling. I'm good with Corker, with Robinson. With Mosley, with Taj Dotson, with Mo Douglas. I feel really good about them. With Asian, I feel really good about him. And now, the one that I'm telling you that is going to shock you is Joel Williams. I've seen the kid play. He is a SEC safety. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, that's 7? And only one field? So 6 I know, and then one field? When I got 4 I knows and 3 fields? The safeties are unbelievably deep. And the great thing about those safeties is some of them can go down and play nickel. I'm not sure if any of these corners can go and play safety. But I know Devontae Robinson can go play nickel. I know Joel can go play nickel. I know probably Taj Dotson can go play nickel. So to me, personally, I have, I guess I'm going to have to say it. I have the safeties as deeper than the corners. I'm going to tell you something, corners. I know you guys don't watch this show. And I know you're never going to hear it. But we as corners have to make more game-changing plays. Game-changing plays are interceptions. I played quarterback my whole life until college. Interception is not a good thing for a quarterback. We got to get some interception. And I know interception comes and goes. It's not really a measuring stick on how good you're playing. But we should get, as a unit of corners, with being so deep, we should at least get 8 for corners. 5 to 8. The way these teams are throwing the ball around, we should be able to get 5 to 8. I was getting 3 a year. You should at least get 1 or 2 a piece. We need to make plays. And the way you make plays is, hold on. I got to play. For all my podcast listeners, this is my overtime. We're in overtime again. So as I was saying, as a corner, the way you make plays is by watching film. That's simple as it is. I played a clip about, I think it was last week, Dominique Foxworthy was saying how having knowledge of what a receiver is potentially going to run is the dictator of your success. If you just count on pure athletic ability, you're not going to get interceptions. You're not going to get interceptions. You have to have an idea by formation, by alignment, by down and distance, by splits, etc. You need to wipe out at least 30 to 40% of the routes that they're going to run. So you wipe out 40% of the routes they're going to run. Now you got a 50-50 chance almost, right? They only got 60% more of the routes. And off the snap, off the release of the receiver, you should be able to cut that down another 20-30%. So now you have a really good idea. Quarterback on the opposite hash, receiver inside the numbers, on second and long, what is the potential route he's going to run? When you get to that level, you're winning. When you get to that level, you're able to make plays because you have an idea and you can sit on routes. So I'm going to pull up this Asante Samuel thing. Give me a second. Pull up this Asante Samuel thing. And we're going to go into this. Hang with me for a second. All right. Here we go. Look like interception I had against Peyton Manning. No, I'm just. So, I want you to watch something. See if I can get it. Now, it doesn't matter, and this is how I play too. And it's not the typical way to play. But look at his eyes. His eyes are back to the quarterback. He has him man to man. But if you have good peripheral, you can see him and see the quarterback at the same time. It's like when you're playing help side defense in basketball. I used to teach my kids, you should be able to point to your guy and the ball. If you can't point to your guy, you don't see him, then you have to move back or get yourself into a position where you can see both. Right now, Asante can see Marvin Harrison out of the corner of his eyes, but he's looking at the quarterback, and when he takes the hand off the ball, doesn't matter what he runs. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if he running out, a hitch, a slant. It doesn't really matter. Because he sees quick step. Okay, he's selling. He thinks he's killing his cushion. And maybe if he's going to sit, you can ricochet off of him, come back, and still make the ball. But he knows where it's coming, and he doesn't allow the ricochet. He steps in front. In my intro, I did the same thing on Peyton on a curl route. You sidestep the receiver, and you intercept the ball. But Asante knows what's coming. He has an idea, right? I'm going to tell you when he has an idea. He sees Peyton Manning with a drop. He has an idea about right here of the 2 routes, 3 routes that he's going to run. And he knows it's not going to be deep because Peyton Manning, let's go to the start. Let's go to the beginning and show you. Peyton Manning takes, watch the 1, 2, 3, and he's releasing. So he knows it's not going to be a deep pass. He knows it's going to be short. He sits and he reacts, eyes on quarterback. Look at his helmet. Indication. Look at his helmet. It is still pointing here. Now Manning he's patting the ball, and he probably has 2 hands on the ball now and about to release. Boom. See how he goes around? He sneaks inside. That's pretty. Eyes on the quarterback is huge. You can keep your eyes on the quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's man. Look, he's in man. This was not as easy as tell his helmet. He got his eyes on the quarterback. Watch him explode. He has an idea. Look, this is another. This guy, let's see where the quarterback. In the NFL, a little different because the hashes are shorter. That's almost in the middle of the field. With that receiver lining up as wide as he lined up, right? Let me show you where he lined up. There is not. He's got 2 routes he can run, really. Being this wide. He can run a 9 route. he can run a comeback. Running an out route is tough unless he stems you inside and gives himself enough room. Because an out route takes a little bit of time to flatten out. A comeback, he can get you on the sideline, just come back and stick it. But he ain't running an out route. So he's either going to go comeback or fade. But when he releases inside, he knows right now it's a slant. But you can only know that by understanding the game and doing what I'm doing here. He knows that's a slant. Look at that, man. That's the way to compete for the ball. I'll do one more. Look at that, man. Now, this to me is more of an understanding of route combination. He sees, I know it's kind of hard to see, but I think he's in 3 deep. Because looks like, you look at the defender, inside the defender, looks like there's a curl and an out route. Once he sees out route, he knows this ain't coming outside. He knows this receiver is going to threaten this, knowing that the quarterback is probably reading this flat guy. If he buzzes the flat, the quarterback is coming right here because it should be an opening. But eyes on the quarterback, sees him release, he can defend that curl. Same way, like I said, I defended the curl on the last play in the intro against Peyton. I did the same thing. You can watch me on watch the quarterback, and I did the same thing against Manning. That's how you make plays. And we need to, as a secondary, make more plays at the cornerback position. That's it. Just got to make more plays. So, that's it for that. Last thing. I've been watching since I've been home, I've been watching Get Up a lot. And Dominic Foxworthy gives some really good nuggets. And they were having a debate about who's the best receiver in NFL. That's tough to say. Question is who I'm more apprehensive about. And speed kills. I don't want to go against Tyreek Hill. I'm just telling you. Because then I can't sit on stuff. Because he's good off the line of scrimmage. And he's way faster than I am. So I can't sit. So I can't say, like, on those routes, and then with the guy who's his quarterback, he can throw 60 yards, probably backpedaling. I would rather defend D-Hop and Julius Jones. Julio Jones. I said Julius. Julio Jones. Because they are bigger guys. I feel a little more comfortable being physical with them. I feel a little more comfortable in press coverage with them. Even though they're fast. They're not Tyreek Hill fast, though. Okay? That's not to say I'm going to stop them. But I feel a little more comfortable playing with them. Playing against them than Tyreek Hill. Because Tyreek Hill, if he gets you off the line of scrimmage, it's ball game. Julio Jones, I think a great corner can have a chance to get back into the play. Same thing with D-Hop. D-Hop is unbelievable receiver, though. I'm not knocking either one of them. I'm just saying I'm more fearful of Tyreek Hill. I'm fearful of all 3 of them. I mean, I'm just be honest. But if I had my choice, I wouldn't want to guard Tyreek Hill. That's just my 2 cents. Y'all can at me if you want to. All right, gave you about 10 minutes of overtime. I appreciate you guys watching. Well, no, wait. I got a video of the day. Forgot about my video of the day because I played that film. Hold on. This is my video of the day. This is pretty cool. That's skills, man. That's That's unbelievable. Have that. That's not eye foot coordination to get that can back up into the and then catch it. That's pretty nice. So that was my video today, guys. I appreciate again you watching, taking out time of your day, spend 40 minutes with me. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you on Wednesday.